Hello, everybody. In this video, we're going to introduce you to our consolidation system called Penny. So what we have here is our group that we're going to be using is called Summit. And Summit is roughly a 100-member consolidation that we have here. So quite a big consolidation. And we're going to show you how this all comes together. Now, what we're going to be focusing on for this video is just the income statement, because what we need to show you is how we can manipulate that data. So let me drill down here. I'm going to go to accounts over here, and then I'm going to go to income statement. And I come through like this. Now, we're in the Summit group. This is the whole group. And it's got a hierarchy. We have 13 different nodes that actually have consolidation capability. So if I right click over here now, it's going to bring up these items. This is the bottom level. Okay. So I've got these 9, pull in 8 each. So that gives us 72 plus their adjustments plus their holding company. That will give you around about 90 different items. And then we still have the consolidation nodes taking it over 100. Okay, so now what I can do is I can change. I can go to mountains, and I can look at the mountains there, and I can click back here. I can go to mammals, and now I'm just concentrating on that one. Go to mammals. I can go to planets. Okay, and I can see that over there. So let's go back to Summit now. Okay, I'm sitting there. So I can change this, and this is the comparative view. What we call a comparative view. I'm comparing current year with prior year. I can also compare current year with budget. Okay, but we'll do that in another video. Okay, so that's how I've got. Now, what I want to be able to do from here is to be able to manipulate everything. Now, let's go back to what's actually happened on submission. When the subsidiary submits, they submit their actual income statement, and they will actually submit at the same time somewhere in the region of 50 different statements. You'll see how that's going to work shortly. But let's just look at the income statement. Now, what we do when we come into the income statement is we rack them. We create you think of it as a tower where we've got every income statement phased out, both monthly and year to date, and you've got 100 of these items sitting there. The consolidation actually takes place instantaneously. As we load them, we then do the consolidated ones just by summing the right numbers together. So they just come about automatically on load. So now we have this rack here, but we can use that to manipulate in a whole series of different views. Okay, so the first extra view I want to show is the phased report. So I'm sitting here on Summit, but I'm going to, if I right click here, it switches into my phased report here, and I can see it by month. So I can see my income statements by month, and everything sums. If I take trading profit and I do this paint in Excel, I can see the number 1,340,460, and there we go. 1,340,460. So that will always work out. You can always see how those numbers actually work. And then this is your return. If I right click over in that LE, it returns. You can think of this page as our home base. This is number 1. What we call our report type is comparative, and that's our home base. And then we spin off from here to the different views. So I saw the phased report. I could also do the phased report for the prior year, which is quite nice to be able to see that straight away. And you'll see the numbers actually change. I've got 19 through to February 20 on here. And we've got a color change so that you can recognize that you are in the prior year. And now I can click back to there. So those two allow me to go into the phased reports. Now we're going to go on to the next category, the number 2 category. That was actually the number 3 category. This is number 2 category. Number 2 category is what we call composition. We now want to see which subsidiaries make up the composition here. So I'm going to click on here. Actually, I'm not going to go through these ones. These ones are exactly the same for the prior year. Whatever we show here, you can also do for the prior year with the prior year numbers. So I'm going to right click over here. It applies anywhere here, but I'm just going to do it on the sales cell. So I click here, and now I'm going into composition. Now, within any node, we can have multiple compositions. So how we actually get to the final number, you can choose. You can put this together any which way you like. We can have what we call aggregations, where you simply take, say you've got some rats and mice, and you don't want to look at them individually in columns. You can sum them together, get a column that, other, and you can just put that column in there, and you can focus on the ones that you really want to see. And doing this, you can put together multiple compositions. So this is a simple one for Summit. These are his main subsidiaries that might have here. These are consolidation in their own right, and those 3 form Summit, okay, that we're going to see over there. Okay, but now I'm going to start showing you the different compositions that we can have. Let's right click over here. Now we're going into this one. Now this is a panel type shape here. It's exactly the same as we had. It's still showing you the composition of the 8508 here, but now for each one of these we get a further breakdown, and it's quite nice to have this on screen. So instead of just seeing the three, we now see these guys come across like that, and we can see each item like that. So it's quite pleasant, and you can, as I say, it's a very simple exercise in an little Excel app that we give you to put these things together. Okay, and you can say what you want to see in the colors and everything that you want to do. Let's go again here. If I right click now to the third one, and this is the final one we have for now. What I've done here is I've mixed some of the comparative stuff with a composition. So I'm getting little panels here. So Summit, Geography, then they have current year, prior year, and I can see exactly how those numbers. So that's another way to do it. And we can, you know, if you think of other things that you want, it's dead easy for us to actually put them in there. And now again, I just click here and I return back to my main portion here. Now, something else I want to show you on the compositions here. We'll go back to the composition. Let's click on here. Now we're back here. These ones here give me ability to drill directly. Instead of go back, change the node and go down, I can drill directly. So if it's got the light color here, I can drill down, okay? And now I can see the composition of geo, okay? And I can click here and I can see this composition as well. The darker color allows me to return, so I can click back up here and I can click back up on here and I can get it. So I can move around my group in terms of how this works, like a zodiac here, for example, and I can see all these numbers, and they're totally instant because it's all held in RAM already. The moment we come into the system, we pull it down from the cloud, we have our 100 income statements, and now we can do this manipulation. Okay, so let's come back. So we've shown you now what we call the horizontal or lateral compositions going that way. Now what we're going to show you is the vertical composition. Same thing, we're still showing compositions, but now on a vertical basis. So if I click here on sales, I can now see my sales made up of which items they're made up. In the same way that we can increment the composition number, I can click here and increment the composition number. Now I can see exactly how this is made up. And if I click back here, I can now click down, say, on trading profit, and I can see exactly how trading profit's made up. And I can click down on profit for the year, and I can see how my profit of the year is made up. So I've got all these items. There's only the 2 items there, and as I say, you can add as many as you like, whatever you want to see there. So that gives you the vertical there. And then the final item that we have here, if I come back to here and I go into current, I can do vertical composition also on my phase report. So I can click on sales here and I can click here. So now here's my 8508, but broken down by month here, okay, and then broken down by the different elements that actually make it up. And I can scroll across here and you can see, so you can see how you make up every item. If I click back here now and I click on profit before tax, I can see precisely how my profit before tax has been made up from each of these items on a phase basis. So I think with these different methods that we have of interrogating the data and jumping and seeing, we can interrogate a particular population. In this case, we're looking at the income statement, but this applies, as I say, we will actually post around about 60 different statements that will actually go up in terms of the composition, and we'll have another video on that coming up tomorrow. And but this is the methodology. The methodology is the same to each statement that applies like that, that you can do this manipulation to interrogate your system. Okay, what I want to show you now, there's one last thing I have to show you. All of this has been done on the management accounts here. Now what I'm going to do is show you the statutory accounts. I can click here, and when we come back into here, now I'm looking at the statutory consolidation, which is a different grouping of the numbers. Obviously, the final result comes back to the same item, but it goes through a different path. Most groups will have a different statutory hierarchy. So if I click over here now, you can see I'm using a different lineup here. This is my battles. Okay, so these are different battles in history, and we're using that to do it. Let's go back to my summit. Here's quite nice. If I click here on here, and now all of these I can drill down on. This is now a much bigger, sort of flatter consolidation, just 2 levels rather than 3 levels. But I can click on Waterloo, for example, and I can see that item come back here. I can click on El Alamein, and we can see these items here, and I can click back there. And the same with the vertical aspect here. I can come back to here, and I can go vertical here, and I can see how I got my numbers there. Okay, and then click back again and go on trading profit and see exactly how these numbers come about. And it's so quick because it's all held in RAM in one go. So that's all I want to show you for this video. And then in the next video, we'll show you how you can expand this and explode it out by having all these different statements. It includes things like tax computation, it includes cash flow, it includes fixed assets, it includes depreciation, everything like that can be done on the same basis. So we're going to rip all this thing out, and we'll have that video for you tomorrow. Thanks a lot.